in my experience, we've had more failures than successes. Because when the cloud first came out, most enterprises had on-prem installs, and they had heavy legacy stacks that they've spent quite a bit of investment on. And all of a sudden, when the cloud came, your CIO or CTO would go to Amazon's web conference or go to Oracle or Salesforce, right? And they're like, "Oh, cloud's easy. Just press a button and it happens." The devil is always in the details, even for on-prem software, right? But I feel that the cloud, the level of complexity is usually understated, severely understated and underestimated. So I'm curious what thoughts you have on your experience from this.
So we're talking total cost of ownership. Total cost of ownership is such a simple term for a lot of detail. So typically, when somebody wants to move their infrastructure into the cloud, and a lot of times I will say that, when you do all the math involved, when you understand the value that you get by moving into the cloud, and even from a business outcomes perspective, when you're planning for AI readiness and just staying on top of the technology world, being in on par with your competition, moving to the cloud is often the right decision. But that's not to be just stated. You shouldn't be doing that just because somebody else is doing it. And what's very understated all the time is the hidden cost element to this. So, so look at this as two different aspects of this data storage. So, what repositories do you need? What repositories are you currently using? This means your applications, your databases. How are you using your databases? Your transactional systems, your analytical systems. All of these have to find their way into the cloud effectively with as little of a long-term cost as possible. Yes, it's going to cost you, some amount of money, time, resources in the shorter run, but it's important for you to document this and understand this with, sitting down with somebody that's done this before, and especially with your data infrastructure. There's another element that is underutilized, understated, is the cloud native elements. So first off, get your functionality as you have it today, replicate it in the cloud. So what does that mean? How can you make that happen? You're not just listening to a few cloud providers tell you, yeah, this is all easy. You have the cost calculator, you should be done, up and running, moving. But getting native functionality today, what reports are your people getting today that they will get struggle to get when the lift and shift is completed? This, in effect, is that design process that you go through, completely understand your costs, completely understand how to be as cloud native as possible.